Hey there, and welcome to the Montgomery House basement. Not nearly as pleasant a space as the costume studio, but it's still a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool stuff down here. What I'm going to do in this little introductory video is just sort of show you the space from a stationary perspective of you being right there on the screen. But just sort of point out some of the things that you will need while you're down here. Up in this cabinet that is right here, it says molding and casting on it, is where you're going to find your rolls of plaster tape that you're going to be using for this project. Okay. There is a little bit of clay up there, but you don't need to worry about that. The clay that you're going to use is going to be down here in a tub. There's a big tub underneath the cabinet, and it's completely full of water-based clay. I'll be showing you that in a more specific video in a few moments. Also underneath here is the plaster of Paris. There are two buckets. The one toward the back you don't use, it says Hydrocal. The one to the front says plaster of Paris, and that's the one that you're going to be using. Other things that you may need out of the molding and casting cabinet are the Vaseline. It's just called petroleum jelly because we buy the generic. This is what you'll be using as a resist when you are ready to pour your mold. And in terms of safety, you will need a mask for this. The thing is, you will all be wearing masks for this. We will have some dust masks up in this cabinet. Here is where we keep our safety equipment. And we will have some of the very thin paper particle masks if you wanted to throw one of them over the mask that you happen to be wearing to extend the life of that mask. I say this in the sort of printed out instructions. If you don't use that as a pre-mask, I would immediately change into a fresh mask once you go out, because you're going to have that particulate matter all around your mask, and you don't want to be existing with that for any longer than you have to. Okay. There are some other tools down here that we will not be using for this project, and if we were when you come in and when I'm supervising you, if you have questions about anything, I will answer them at that time. A couple of other pieces of safety information is that you should definitely dress in clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. The basement is not a clean space in any way. It's a place where we go when we want to do messy things. So please dress in things that you don't mind getting dirty. The other thing is that behind the camera, where you can't see, are a whole group of aprons like the one that I have on right now. You will want to grab one of those. I believe we have a few more upstairs I'll bring down. You'll want to cover and protect even your grubbiest clothes. The plaster can, if it gets on you, it does come off a little bit, but it also will stain and embed, and you don't want that even in your grubbiest clothes. So grab an apron and cover yourself up. I would definitely choose to wear closed-toed shoes down here, even though you're not dealing with anything heavy, just because the floor is just kind of gross, and it also makes standing a little easier. It is a concrete floor, so we have standing mats, as you can see what I'm standing on here. Make use of those, but having a good comfortable shoe will help you with that too. I also always put something on my hair when I'm down here, because I am compulsive about sort of running my hands through my hair, and having the bandana means if I accidentally do that, I don't end up with plaster in my hair. So that's something to think about also, that you might want to wear a bandana or a beanie or something just to keep things tidy. Other than that, I believe we are about ready to get started. One last item is that we will be using some faces that we have already cast for this, and this is an example of those. They are, again, behind the camera where you can't see right now, but you'll see them when you come downstairs. You can't miss them. It's a whole countertop full of faces. So you'll grab one of those, and then you're going to build up on top of it. Our goal at the end of this project is something like this. This is the mold for one of the masks that we built for Conference of the Birds, and it has been used multiple times. And so at the end of this, you will have a mold similar to this that you can use to then create a mask on top of. This particular mold was used to make leather masks, and it's actually made several of this type. Okay, it won't go back on because it's already been cut off. Well, maybe it will. But this was what I did on this one. Again, when we get to the end of the semester, if we have some time, we may pick up some Worbla and let you pull a thermoplastic or do a paper mache or do something so that you can end up with a mask off of your mold at the end of the semester. Okay? I think that's about it. I'm excited to get going. So let's get started.